Greetings, my name is Kadam Tyler Bikes 28003497. Today I will be presenting my garden grammar board that I have created for grade 5 English. This right here is my garden grammar board. Each petals have a topic on it that students need to choose. So it says, pick a flower from the garden of grammar. This engages our students, and when they pick a flower, they get a topic, either conjunctions, antonyms, nouns, adjectives, synonyms, or prepositions. Once you have chosen one of those flowers and you have your topic, I will give you one of our challenge cards that I have for each topic. The challenge cards each have an activity for you to do. Before I introduce the garden grammar board, I explain many different topics that you can find during your English home language examination. And with that, I will introduce the garden grammar board to make it a more fun and engaging experience for my students to participate in. Once we have done all the activities from the garden grammar board, I will then allow students to make their own flower with their own petal, with their own topic that they choose from the topics I have given them already. They can choose either one that they enjoy doing, that they understand, or they can choose one that is more challenging to them. That way, in the future, when they do get that topic in the examination, or when I give them a cycle test, or when I give them an activity, for example, they will understand and they will remember from the color that I have presented to them, or they can use their own color for their own flower. They will remember from the color, from their own notes, from their own activities, when they need to answer questions in the exam, cycle test, or activity in class. So, with that being said, I will read some of my challenge cards that I have made. So each topic has an activity for them to do when they choose one of the flowers. For example, when you choose your antonyms, right? When you choose the flower that has antonyms on it, let's see which flower that is. It is this pink flower over here. So I will remind them that antonyms are opposite words, or words with the opposite meaning of the word that you are given. So the challenge card says, give the antonyms for the following words, and they will get 10 of those words. Some of them include above, cheap, cool, deep, easy, and huge. If they were to choose verbs, right, that would be from this purple flower over here. I would remind them that verbs are doing words. It's action words. If you are walking, if you are talking, those are verbs. You are doing the action. Our challenge card says that you need to identify the verbs in the following sentences, and I gave them 5 sentences to do that for. Okay. I then have conjunctions. I would remind them that conjunctions are words that combine 2 sentences to make one long sentence, or 2 words combining 3 sentences to make one long sentence. So, our challenge card for conjunctions, also from our light blue flower over here, it says, join the following sentences using the conjunction in the brackets, okay? And I put the word brackets in brackets just to remind them what brackets are. There are 3 sentences with 3 conjunctions. For each sentence, they need to combine the sentences using the conjunction provided. We have prepositions for next. So prepositions are our yellow flower over there. It says use the provided prepositions in your own sentence. So they need to know what a preposition is before doing the activity, which I will explain. Um, these petals are actually supposed to have the definition of each topic, which I didn't get to complete, but it's meant to have the explanation of the topic that is on the petal. So use the provided preposition in your own sentence: on top of, under, next to, behind, or, and over. So they need to make up their own sentence by using the preposition in the correct way. Okay, we have synonyms, which you do the same that you did with antonyms. So you need to give the following synonyms for the words below. We also have nouns. For the nouns, you need to identify which letters are the nouns. So we have A to L. There are that many words that you need to identify as nouns, which include abstract nouns, common nouns, collective nouns, etc. And then for your adjectives, there are items listed on this challenge card, and they need to give an adjective for those items provided. This is a deep learning experience for the learners in my class because students can connect visually. They are writing down the answers to their challenge activities, and they can give spoken examples while I can ask them in the class, who can give me an example of a noun, or what would you describe my jacket as, for example, for an adjective example, etc. I can ask learners to use each word type in context. So for example, your verb, how do you use a verb in a sentence, and how do you identify a verb in a sentence? Student engagement. Student can work in groups or in pairs, or individually if they feel uncomfortable working in groups or pairs. So that makes everyone feel involved. If a student wants to work individually, they can come to my table, choose their flower, and then go work in private at their desk. Or peers can come up with ideas together and how to answer the challenge cards. They will enjoy flipping the petals and answering the questions because it feels more of a fun activity or an art project, since they are going to make their own flowers with their own topic, own explanation, and answer questions on activities on that topic. The reason I made these such bright colors and I made them have their own color, like yellow, dark blue, purple, orange, red, pink, and light blue. The reason I did it like this, the reason it is so appealing to the eye, or it catches your attention, is because if they were to think about antonyms, they'll remember that pink flower. Or if they were to think about adjectives, they'll remember the orange flower and associate all the work that we have put in, all the activities that we have done in class with that flower. They will get simplified definitions of the topics so that they can easily remember for the next time, for when they need to answer questions in an exam or a test, a cycle test, or a pop quiz, or classroom activities for that matter. This experience, I feel like, will be fun and enjoyable for the students because it's something different, something that not most teachers do in their classrooms, because they're more focused on the textbook or the contents that they get from the syllabus, I feel like this will be more fun and engaging, and students will enjoy it. Students will want to come to your class because you make your lessons so enjoyable, so fun. My challenge cards allow them to think critically, allow them to use what they have gained from the lesson or from the definition and put their minds to work, put their knowledge to work, to make sure that they understand the work that you are teaching them. If not, you never know when they're going to forget it. That is why I made these challenge cards, so that I know that they know how to put their knowledge to work. This garden grammar board idea can be used in grade 5 all the way to grade 12, because you can use your own topics. You can use all the different topics, for example, concord, um, types of sentences, all of the figures of speech. It will be a fun and engaging learning experience for students, and they can put their knowledge to work by doing activities on the different topics that is in the syllabus that they get. And I feel like it will be enjoyable for all grades, whether you're 18, whether you a grade 5 learner. I feel like once you involve the students in the learning experience, they will have more fun with it. They will enjoy coming to your class. They will remember the work that they did in that lesson. That is it for my garden grammar board. I hope you enjoyed the idea behind my presentation, the idea behind my board. Thank you so much for watching.